Premo atu ahaye peace 104.3 FM. Okay, 101.7 neat 100.9. Your ship house Wabeka Junction Accra. Hello. 101.5 we dum Kumasi. O my ma. Ya mamu nyina ha. Ebredi sen sama ya boa no ye me de somo se peace prem to brekase. E free peace FM so sa nom. And I'm radio stations e bro head you no so Ghana ne amonone. A live for Hot Digital Radio so London, Unity Radio Worcester, Massachusetts. Kasebwe a live Peace 104.3 FM and a Peace FM online. Facebook also ewo ho ewo Peace 104.3 FM ni Peace online. YouTube a Despite Media. Now and somewhere it didn't be any say. Burkina Faso for Adan and Kaye Dumwa. Wade kai nano wo mampeni Thomas Sankara o mananso ho. Ghana mampeni dada nyame afreno Jerry John Rawlings and so what they want wanting Bonisi streets no ebi atono. Sikasemu nimdifo Dr. Richmond etua hene esre aban se osrada aban kentre ne ho ewo ekwanya yebefa so aye kua ene wo hwe nsuo ye eto na ekoyo na yentimi nkurakura bienu a ehia se yefa nsuo ho adwen kua ye kwan so.
Mesro mampeni sereno nyame mobro sereno nyame mobro omtwane ni hwe agri
na eno te kokoda animdifo ne kasa de fa 24-hour economy ene oman no de sikasem gina breya abandada no ejaye ehum Accra Metropolitan Assembly AM so efrase a wo yi nkrofo mo abetena wo ekwan ahodo ne ba bia enka ensese wotena ehye dwa no efri ho.
Otina Tuesday, Akan Metropolitan Assembly, the back or an exercise.
Ensio toye, ewo meyi efa baby, enkran no kwa ejeye. Eti ensio yiri, enane nansa, enra de ne ye dutwam. Yene nadmufo, ebekasa ewo hum. Na omai Ghana, say na ye tutu anamon se mpox. Yarea no ananu na ye mienu ene de hu se nipa enan na enya bie no ye de ba abebo ho ebra na ansa na ye bewie no ye be kɔ sunwane efisa omanhene akira kwan ye obefa so a obedi hene ana obebu ne man ewo sunwan ho ensem bi ka we no ho ne yese ne kosode be som sem peace prem tobre kase enyume
ye African queen mackerel eye Elba pastor wo makola on fire service di anim hwe akwa ba enam na nanu so de wo twa poti wo the sauce papa egu ho eni ti jollof na wo ye palava sauce na wo ye tomato stew na wo ye twa African queen mackerel na fagum enkwankra utumi de ye enho no efise nam no emu edru ededam kese kama African queen mackerel wo si twa wonum keke hweto bia da ye tonton provisions eni nyama etisa wom no wo benya African queen mackerel ewo ho ati 4 days emuntumi enko Bapa stores ewo makola bia ne fire service di anim sha fresh 0245 326 180 and 0302 668357 0302 668357 MTN yo den day what the MTN table net no aba into see and can choose choose MTN table net nanya internet no eye America wom ehwe ha entin so mu bia so nim efise ni nyina da wo MTN 4G plus no eso ewie ye da wo no mo ase
akenkaifo a moti yenken eye me nana ya kunedu mene
mami ya kunama
afei kasebonu mu ensem eni Burkina Faso for ayamane ede ahye nano wo mampani Captain Thomas Sankara munyam won kropon wo gadugu mu na wo bo eho edwa bono ede nipa agye bibiman kabomu ene nano ho anamona wotutu ye pan Africanist ahodo ekokohia ye wo mantam no emu na wo nyina so kasa ye kire eniso Thomas Sankara de odi agya Wagadugu mine anaso Burkina Faso mine Burkina Faso for an share wo mampeni dada Thomas Sankara nkwen munyam wo mutisi Ghana ha sei e ma nano ye mampeni ye ba kabi mamen kabi mu e wo amemwo ye etoso enan yi mu no mampani a wodi nkan Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings so wo hye nanimonyam e de wo monten ni bi wo potamu akwan ni bi street eto no a eno so ekokoye nanimonyam hye pa na Lieutenant Colonel Lati retired Oye Ghana bofotene Emma Alliance of Sahel States a brand munyam share no ekọ na wieye de ode atudwabi eni.
President Sankara and his people really deserve the kind of honor that they got. There is so much to talk about Sankara. To just put it short, Sankara and President Rawlings were contemporaries. So, and they believed in the same kind of direction. They were two charismatic leaders in this part of the world. So you can see that once you want to talk about Sankara, you have to look at him from that perspective, that these were two revolutionaries from this part of the world, who were very close to each other, cooperated with each other. One got killed, one carried on and became, a civilian president and all that. When Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger declared that they had formed Ghana's president was the first, in ECOWAS to come down to visit them, to talk to them, and to find out what exactly was happening. So you can see that the cooperation is building quite some momentum, and I think that eventually, we will all succeed.
Onipoka say Lieutenant Colonel Lati retired or mineable for Tinema Alliance of Sahel States. Na Jumano Aseno na Kanema Penny Jerry John Rawlings Nema Kimathi Rawlings and a fake Koli Clote Mrashe Bejanim on Munyam for Zanato Rawlings Awoho. Enti Zanato Rawlings Ijnaso Edasi saying.
The Thomas Sankara's foundation have done their best to keep his legend alive, and we've always been happy to support. President Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings my father was certainly a huge supporter of the foundation, and he was a very close friend of Thomas Sankara. So it means a lot to be here, and it means a lot that of Africa was more or less here to support this momentous occasion. United, we will rise. Divided, we will fall. That's the way I look at it. I think now more than ever, we have the opportunity to come together as a continent, and together I think we could be a force for good in this world. So let's streamline things, let's work towards a better future, and I think our leaders are on the precipice of making that happen. So I think we're in a good place, but certainly united, we will be able to accomplish that.
Yo, ene ayeti no enye zenato mum ne mum ye Kimathi Rawlings ne eni Ghana mpanifo akoye ebi eye yen bambo esofo onmunyamfo Dr. Edward Omane Boama afei amanwe sofo onmunyamfo Muntaka Mubarak National Security any Interior Minister enonom afei oman ana aban kitahudie bofo ana aban amane bofo onmunyamfo Felix kwachi ofusu Lieutenant Colonel Lati amiboni din yi Dr. Zenato Rawlings and afei Naval Captain Bafo Asasi Jima retired nano National Security Coordinator any era Kofi to be kwachi onoso nano now a National Security mu swafo ewo mai Ghana mu empanimfo ine di akire bi ekọ Burkina Faso ebra na wo share kanema mpani Jerry John Rawlings animunyam Salamat kuku apinto ene de amaneboy ebaye
afe yankwa my Ghana adwadie ntutuye ne nkane asem emu obimfum okuni ewo sikasem ne adwadie ntutuye mu a wo kirade ewo mensu apon kese wo Enkran High University of Ghana Professor Godfred Bokpen odi atudwa se anisade hunu ya party NDC asadro mu no mu di ade wo mamu sa ban di aba betudwa se wo mu pese Ghana for ye adwuma yemponda 24-hour economy no enye anisade hunu betimi abamu da ensusuye bi e won krata so asetena mu dada pade ntimi ma prof enchiremu ene sei enwuma dati ni wura no ono ankasa e wa ahoma ne so omama ye hwese nsa beka prof Bokwen na de enti a o say 24-hour economy no se wo hwese de nkane ani nyina so enu enti entumi ma so na ye ne no adi ho nkomo prof peace kase bosuni yada se ma wa ha. Hello prof.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yada senso. Waka say 24 economy no enya de ebetimi abem adentia.
So generally to me, operating 24-hour economy for a little better, but the current situation, especially with respect to power, it's very difficult to roll out 24-hour economy. So that is going to be difficult. Again, if you look at factor conditions that should make 24-hour economy possible now, we don't have it right now. So even under the current situation, we are struggling to get reliable power. I think we will need substantial investment in the energy sector to be able to have the kind of power bank that will allow a large-scale industrialization of our economy, or even if you want to personalize 24-hour economy. So there are challenges that require solutions in order to roll out 24-hour economy. Granted, the 24-hour economy policy by. So we are yet to understand fully what the 24-hour economy is all about. And I have maintained, even before the election, is that one of the things I don't understand yet, or I didn't understand, was this whole 24-hour economy and how we're going to personalize it. So it's good to give government the benefit of the doubt and then see how this will be rolled out progressively and all of that. But we have to sustainably fix our energy sector.
Prof, so I would say any investment to energy sector anymore. Investment banks, if you say you buying iron to Yahudoa, Caneno de Nanka, Via ni Buia na Yedaso, say pipe gas pipeline Beboa, Quebeco Wapco, and Yanya Chiabudi. Now, Becca so power badges in Swaba and also Eboa. Chian yentimi chia or Monsieur Chia or more. Do I hear be our mobile chiamaye into investment banks, Anna, will come once a me.
A B is a concept. I want to say Minister of Energy, Akan said they need about 1.1 billion, I don't know whether dollars or so, to buy crude oil and all of that. Part of it is money. The ocean, the energy sector, the entire value chain now, from generation, there are issues. There are generation losses. In terms of our generation capacity, if you look at our generation capacity right now, installed capacity, it will not be sufficient to sustain 24-hour economy. Even the 8-hour economy or the 12-hour economy a year running here. All the communities, districts in this country don't have optimal access to power as we speak right now. We don't have that. It's from generation issues. Then when it comes to transmission, where you factor in grid co, there are issues. But all the issues cluster at ECG. Okay, so if the ocean cash water for mechanism or move it to in place, say whatever revenue ECG collects, how that will be shared between generation, transmission, and ECG operations now. They've not been able to follow it reliably. Apart from that, Mr. Oshebia, even power, ECG, free from transmission. When they sell the power, they are unable to account for all of them. We have ministries, department, agencies, sensitive installations of government that are not paying for the electricity they consume. If you put all these things together, yes, we will need substantial investment in the operations of ECG and then also the other players in the value chain. But the government doesn't have the money. You know what is happening right now, right? So the also 2025 budget now, there is very little expenditure that government is committed to this year. Okay, so we are trying to constrain expenditure. Okay, we are tightening expenditure. All of that is also helping the strengthening of the currency. All right, but there are trade-offs. There are trade-offs in terms of the fact that we need to spend to procure crude, we need to spend other critical sectors of the economy. Yeah, I think that, of course, 24-hour economy, I'm not sure it's something that they can roll out immediately. It will be progressive, but there are challenges that we need to resolve. Even if we're not operating 24-hour economy, we need reliable, predictable power that is cheap for the economy we are operating.
And Nadia, so ya buying the flagship program said ye Becano. Ghana for to said ye now will share quite what's one thing ya may be at them. Ghana for baby so share quite say a idea crab buying and I say a idea or can ye to a battle or wow to a banner akumaso. It is a memoir won't be din who yaw, obedi wom hwambo. To obey a day ne to me a bem and quay say a buy Akan went to me anyo.
I'm sure the share from 1992 political manifestos up to date and your promises are politicians no more can't say any no more keep it. Not all of them. They have not been able to fulfill all their promises. They will make some progress. At the end of the day, they come down to a little bit of propaganda. Okay, we've done it. We've started. So I'm sure at some point there will be a policy launch of the 24-hour economy. That policy will iron out what the entry points are, what the critical success factors will be, and then the key performance indicators that we'll use to track. If we're able to make progress along those lines, it will be good for the economy overall. But in the present, there are challenges. Over 2025 budget, that's the OSHA outlook now. There are significant risks that we have to manage. If you look at the level of investment, in Akan earlier, the level of investment we need in the energy sector, and the government doesn't have the fiscal space. Everything Americans say, at some point, and I think this is the time, we may have to invite private sector participation. And as I will say, IMF supported program now. Hello.
Doc Yawaha, Mitiopa.
IMF supported program are here implemented right now. Of course, it was started by the previous administration. There are structural reforms in the energy sector that require considerable level of private sector participation. So the way I see it is that instead of looking for foreign investors, I think we should be able to prioritize indigenous private sector participation so that we own it. So that if we manage it well, the gains will stay in this country. But if we want to continue along this path, and we've seen how the two major political parties have managed the energy sector, the problems have been there. We try to manage it, but it goes, it comes, it's persistent, and all of that has implications for industrialization, for growth of the economy. So it will require some level of investment, it will require some level of private sector efficiency to come on board, and I hope that government will be able to manage all of this well, and the communication of it to the general public, EUC, major stakeholders, the workers of ECG and the rest of them, so that at the end of the day, we can check that box and say when it comes to power, Ghana has reliable, sufficient, predictable power for the next 20 years or so. All of that is also good for attracting foreign direct investment. Because if businesses want to come and set up in Africa, one of the critical things they look at is not just that you have a stable democracy and all of that. Others are also working at their democracy, but they also look at the competitive environment. Okay, and energy will be one of the things that they will consider. So,
Prof said ya wo kano no ada 24 economy ni nyina so nyina na ye energy na na.
Oh, enye ni na nye energy. But energy is very critical. Energy is very critical.
Enti ebetimi aba so a ebia energy nhyehyeye enya nwiemu die.
No, but I mean even the 8-hour economy you don't have reliable power 24/7. You don't have that. So assuming you can't 24-hour economy, we are going to operate in shifts of 8 hours. Those who go to work in the night, if the light is not available, what do you do? Okay, I know that they are doing something in the area of security, strengthening the security services, police, in terms of surveillance, and the rest of them. That is fine. So you want to look at the entire value chain. Yeah, there are challenges that we believe that government will need a bit of time to be able to resolve. But it's also important that we highlight them, so that we take all of that on board. Energy is a big issue now. We are not even talking about infrastructure. In economics, there will come economic transformation. And you even break it down into two main components: structural transformation and productivity transformation. We don't have the very basics, the basic requirements for structural transformation and productivity transformation. We don't have the very basics. One of them is energy. The other one is infrastructure. When you say Krumha, Utiakra, it's like you are in prison. You know why? Because you just can't tell yourself that I'm getting out of Accra and go to Kumasi. It will take you hours. We have not been able to even connect our major cities by expressway. And if we Accra now go Kumasi, it may take you 5 hours or so. Who does that? How do you grow with that system? You can never grow. You can never go.
It's 25 economy no. Dachi asem enye ne etese nhihye bi ba akwam ansa na etumi afiti ase.
Yes, sana me hono. Sana me hono.
Yeah, that's it.
E was say dey tutu ho. Yes, she me ansa na 24-hour economy no. Yetimi are rolling it out effectively.
Prof, yeah, that's it pa.
Nyamisha.
Professor Godfred Bokpeng, nim di forward jadi ni sikasem to tuemu a ochade wo University of Ghana ene ne di nkomwe.
Enene nansa ene enura ensuo toye ewo Greater Accra Mantam Hasem. Enya hape oman no nko adwesu ahodo bia mantam ne bi mu nso ensuo etoye. Nanso enkrade ne dia ya afinhyi aboa ebre bi ensuo betonom ewo asam a yete. Enti enura Ebra na onwunu eba abadwo no mo wie kota ma onwunu adwo no anom ye sabremu ena ensuo ni gie mu gidigidi pani behwe mia hodo fisa na omanfo da so okrom manfo wo montim nipa ni fie bebrenu afiradi ewom se na ye kwase adade wokọ baabi te se kwa menkoma circle wager kaneshi adabraka temafa baabi adantan dodoa fm ho baabi ofanko nsawom kwan yi ene mia hodo bia na ye pani bra na behwe ahyan aka ewa akwantimfi emu enipa woyen kakra na usia na eja hyan na sinsuo num na yekọ de oye kokodu fo nso wotwe hyan na fansuo num a timinya kokọ so a na ode hyan na kwa akosi na wape baabi afa enkrofo mpo emma ekokodi nsensa mebi mo ho no mo mutimi nya wo mo ma eyi wo mo etimi eyi wo mo free ensuo no kwan emu boni bebre ena enura nsuo no so etoye no edi omanfo enkrofo adan mu baabi anano na nka ensuo nyiri edan mu ensuo no bowura ho ese mu bibia we say nti yebekọ edi ho nkomara se de etimu ano no yedi nkan ne omanfo bi ya no odi akwaniaba ewo baabi a na ensuo no eto na edi nsamone ni bia kasa yebekọ akotie ne nkrobata mu ofankonsa wa mu kwan sei omanfo apasenyafo ya efasa kwan ne so ekira bene a wo mudiye
bia no passe no Akan hu ye din wa ha pa obia oba okita ne price odi ye adwuma wo kwan so na se na kwan so ayen so ma cars no so ni sese nti na ya etumi ba no sa nti ye pamocho na mu hwe se ye betumi ye won bibia ma ya ye no ntema ma na ye hu ato ye so a ka be bua ye pa isu start so nti pa president to fight say ntumi bua omo ye adwuma no wo kwan so ntemtem na omo amu ye ntemtem ma ye
enso to acheche unyaka obetima bejina some best 2 hours 3 hours tu ko adwuma kwa wa adwuma ko no kra no obe rate ene hawa na mua tare so dey beto abanu se obene ne nkofo be kasa no ma be hwe na ma ye kwan na ma ye ne so enya sunje ne atimi akoya adwuma so
ye be okwan no ho pa e kwan no enye ye nya kanso so mfa kosi amasaman no ma gya ye guwo
enti wei enya omo enu no mo nsuo num ensuo na te anopai omanfo ye di ahemfiri wo saa kwan ne so wo mo nimom ena yete ye no na woni a eco circle so
say if it am nsuo to ya yiri fe nipa wa abebri no if it sata munyina nsuo na haye tambi ebeto bia haye we enu akra to yi e ba station ha nyina konkofo dam ni ade ade ehia ya ne say gata na omoye se na ebe ya omo nsa be ye awoso amaye
se de we a nsuo start to because of more na nsuo nsuo yiri nipa na yeso elia ha no so no more na gina yeso so we goto ya tututu normal the google term ama gota ne choku wota ninti nsuto a o se nsuni ja kwan na eko no nsuni ntimi nya kwan enko si ja sa na mawe nyina na ebeboa ye sɛ be yan sunu yila MFI because I got an the corner at them quality and so to abeko
And yes, I got I say my testimony. This is my testimony. Very wrong. The testimony to me and you wrong. Got a cook for now. I'm interested in anything. I be and soon to higher.
I have you know. By order no more timuno, and now boy. Yes, you got a fufu. Ya bet Timaja was up at her. In future, no horse fire, now flubber.
Ni boni yo chikwensa ni boni nune achifene mokoye ekelele nche esha ni abia na ka mtia ye jeme na ba bi wo mini jino ni gbanye na o ne ken le ka fele ne ke banyi tabi ya ke moni baba ba tuni e pe baba ba nyenye ka yi agbena ati
contractor oye gateye da ye chiri hey a garlic company. We want to demonstrate against them. That's the whole area because Juma Omo Yeno and Sweni.
The tea your mom for ye walk coming come second and important move. Of Uncle Hona so yes, I your mom for be a casaye. The din kind ye fan crying and Sawamu Quino of Uncle Sawamu Quino for. Say the end almost say a month for 2 of Uncle 7 days. Yenty one way.
7 days, Ganot, Municipal Hospital now. Area who you should better. And this a 1 minute cry, not half like. So we say, your cry me eye contributions are here concrete.
In soon, I be farm a dozen. In Tiamagat, and I will overflow and a active area winning now.
What problem ni your Jemeji? Can you more flat bow on a danger? What we are with all? I'm not forward. President in President, I forward.
Oh, my dear. You show you some assembly members in campaign, and so on. Yes, and found we.
Did you find ya catch assemblyman for Umbra boy are buying for, but still you're trying a omumba. Yeah, the sika kakra akawana. Yeah, some blogs be a beboa ever prevent it in Siono.
Near a tea a year of Uncle 7 days before. Ye kwa nadmo for akachi. Deputy Director of Operations, Sama Nadmo A. George Agbenato. Mira piece of Suni, my high.
Mejoso.
Beba Chadia, Echi ye, ensuring someone near and run near a day one who is saying assessment to be so.
I menu say crown, ye grounds are, ye cost, ye goose, ye assessment.
So far, a dear more.
Cecilia, the young woman say, a bat nana crum. One resident here in Sunu a flat day or area noon. And it said, what's an anacrum bridge, no? In Sutina, a fat bridge national, and Kayasa a quine yema in Sun, Jesse, a year a quine, but all be rare community, mountain said, in Suna as a court, it has meandered through the community. Maintains Otimasia, in Tiama, in Sun, volume never and guess a cottage in San Cabe fat bridge nasiboko. And I think soon debris kiosks in Dia and Yamanyama Akoshe a choky bridge nasi. In Tiama in Sun a flow fat bridge national and flow sa a banis aswa a bit tea community. Aha, in Tianoso Kahu and Emma in Sun a you Nanaku many your friend is saying yes, Nanaku many lakeside estate name. So, in the any other
it said your kind of nakrum, one say a drainage issue, yes, sir.
Stop a pepe, and not say after the bridge no sono. A month for okay. After the bridge no sono, a month for ACCR dying, it encroached on the natural causeway of the drainage system. Intini also come Anna, Adena Akoso bottleneck. Into Honoma, in Sono, do one ebano, Sadu dona intimi and foul. Into Banisa, a teneswa, na ako a month for fee. Well, in na, the about 2 years, no, and yasem kitwakra. Me about me in Canada and yasem kitwakra.
Okay, apart from Nana Cromedia, walking ya, who say a drainage no, and a year or how, baby, the circle. And go for Bog Garrett, project no etri so na garage project ibotai bi ne same baba bete flooding ensuyiri eso babe ma waterways yetimi manage ne yie eti akoba say project na babe manage flooding no mponkrofo say omunyom be demonstration against it baby to say ho circle wakana na krom of anko nsom kwan yi omonyon apart from baby a construction ewo who say highway ne so ahomachi memeba ahomachi kra na still flood ewo highway ne fa baby enti bia na krom na makọ hope ana motimo officers na gum mutie de enkrofo kan so that mo ye recommendations na mo betimi ahunu baby a ye be fa free
ma me da wase sesi nya wo kan ye no say garage project ni nia say ye na say even ye constructed the best drainage system in Ghana na say yen timamufo no yansesa ye suban and the in because even Abuchi Kwapa a wire well developed no what the best drainage system yeah a honum it me flooded but flood within no time we going na in Sonia every city now so say your human activities say to tunyama eguga tadum building unwanted structures I'm coming on building unwanted structures on the water within Sanyamania see of course and the garage projects in Enkosiaga still a person in Sotoa in Sobesen AD into say ya suban say suban
bra yeka suban yi George atrai to say nadmo na no na just nadmo ene authority anameti
weti kakra because we know authority ni nya
ya fama okay na so yenim nadmo yenim sa atroye nchem ni siwi a mo besom na ye ka nadmo na omanfo nse mu suban na say nokremu apart from sa asembesi a ye be from to study ye di nkomoyi nadmo any other agencies no yen share dem who conscious effort someone need da ho say mo nyasa mo boda wuro keke mo boa me akyekye enipa fo no aye ne wo mote na sabe adwene bia ni wo mutim ni atwe wo maso yen share dem who bibia on the grounds abeye yen da wobofo yen na to na penti sorry a na atu nguragu ha we say yo na ye say yen hu bibia mo ye conscious effort say mo de ba aba be mankrofo mo so mo ye indiscipline etimi aye discipline and we yin anonsay
mame conscious effort no ye pa ba onim say na mo ejuma no ye ni ejuma for akonkrofo ene ye ejuma no so on aha nti obafo say ye ejuma but ye ejuma we have other stakeholders say ene omo ye ejuma for instance assembly ni say ene omo ye ejuma pa nti bibi saa no wa hu nadmo ma o before say enye nadmo e dia na enye the lead agency but then say to a the information about command the lead agency no now I then we take the responsibility of doing that international ejuma na dia ye bokoko nti ye ejuma pa ukoya district no ma district any zonal staff no yo omotisi ekoya nkyerechire and make sure say tanya mani nya ye besi ano akwan
you ya mama chechere bi nru ba bia ye so ye wo ye nti bi nti mebu sasase bi da but finally enra de see ye no obi ho kan ye enipa wu ye because atete say ebi su say omu nipa wu ene ade from nadmo point of view enipa bi awu ana so monya report a che say obi awu ana
mami for now no de ye say mami bi egu so ye finding out ye say mami ene nkola mienu but see ano de etin ye say
okay mami ne nkola mienu a me enu na me di akire me hu ye bi ba ko de ene nkola mienu a watimi rescue nkwada mienu no but on the different friends saying pages socials na report no e bi so kam wo akira unso mo de ne de ankwa ye sa mami de nti modwuma no so mon try na mon hwehwe akire ne ntimi ehu de epie mu pote why yo woko amenya no kwan preko bema na medase de amene kasa ye George Agbenato wono deputy director operations ema nadmo na yensan kwai ewiemu nsakra ye atena ye no Wamuna ewomu ano maboye nkaye bibi bo ewiemu nyo nsuo beto enene nansane no ade de yantenka bi omo boy ne yantie Felicity Ahafianyo eye public relations officer Philly mahai
na
bibi aboko de
nyamina dom bibi aboko
yedera ewrade adom ye ho ye pa meme den sue de ye hunu hwe anamu hu na manka hwe ankyere ye
yo me chacha ye ti ofom no nyina but then me nye public relations officer me officer in charge of the central analysis and forecast office baby ye da weather forecast no say na evia better anopa any no ahono na miwo
yo fileme dance ne atene
pacho
yo
say no weekend forecast no ye hu ye say enso beto amaye free Monday last week Monday na ye di weekly forecast babon no ye di two na ye di colors so Akan ho ye mi so so bi an hu odo hu difference no ewu Friday the weekend forecast so far abonti obi mo anyamu ye sa Friday no ye di colors no aye no fefe dem na benya no wo Saturday so ya ye then I bet 2 year war Sunday so ya ye on so fefe na ye di two abonti ti uba Ghana Meteorological Agency ye na ehwe evium na ye na eye bibia enti ye hu ye se entu beto na ne ahonde so no eboko so kakra another no ye di warning ababon se na ye di areas so aka ho si owo ho a se ni hanse na why
so far enipa bebre say te say memenda de say efuo mumu memenda ne say takra de no an say na agiagu eno ade a ka say mo forecast mo de warning no ebaye ye mu bi say yante but at least ye mo de warning kakraba say ye kasa sesi e ya enka medie enka ye hu ni gidigidi say de ye hu yi e de na asesa na mo forecast de en sesi
yo that's it when insuno top na difference kakra ebe mu at times so no ebeye di at times so na hondi beba form March mo na ye di ababon say yeah seasonal forecast for southern Ghana no starting and here be starting but after so no ye ka say days bi wo ho insuno emba ye friend dry storm ya kanini na egu na afen so no ya saka se we no enso no na hondi ni na nema so ebe sakra kakra enti May no ye wo third week e call fourth week na ye call June ono na ye nim say the peak of the rainy season for southern Ghana enti at times so no ebabasa at times so no embasa so mo kaya last year May 16th enso kese bi toye na ye di one in ababonti can you be omodi atem sa but at the end of the day no enso no buy and see 2025 sa enso no bi na sakai but this time you know I'm back sitting for aba we no 17th and 18th hormona enso no buy and ye no na wa ha no ye hu na da bia no ye di babonti but ye na here say ye be to na ye di ayi juma na ebe boy nyina
you say ye share enra de no a edin sabone afedie enye streets mu epenensuo no yirifa ewura nkrofo dem wo baabi e beka se honye lowland honye baabi anka da bia de nsuo to eyirifa wo mo musu se de to sa bre na no odin se beto akoso adi esansa bone no and apart from weekend de si ye hunu gidigidi se bion afei ahoboa ben ne enye
yo so na fe na ye call the peak of the rainy season no it is the NFC another no Accra any ebimu or central region any western region no ebibe sabe to me ato na anya man so ebe to me aba that abia ye wo Accra had ebia bekoye wo Volta region ana Eastern region ana Ashanti region na ono so no betumi akoye nuanu mu na wo Northern region, upper east, north east, any upper west, any savannah that time no so ebia omo so de no ebeba ma omo by year no na wo Ghana Meteorological Agency ebe pomodia ahwe and then you the weekly forecast no beba bonti baby and no better baby we are born we be kan ni by here say sabefka na eja na edi aye juma say you hu say no na be nanti free enia Cameroon Nigeria form aba betu ye wo Ghana na no be ye di edi ade say beba ye be di weather warning aba na obia aso ate na ya di aye juma
Philly yadasi awie yo why
yo wasdani ho
yo Abzafo enua Felicity ahiafanyo Central Analysis Forecast Office ho na odi dwuma na wa kire se we ya hyase krachi nyame fa de kransi said Frimpong o say this is just the beginning we ya hyase afa ne be hu akese pa it was nsuo no de hu ne weekend yi ya hyase afa ne be hu akese pa ye nyina yesempa
Yensa nkoka nkania so asem na no akra nso ni to wie yedundum nkania kakra eniti na no so afa ohwe ojanwode ensem so Minister Energy and Green Transition Ora John Jinapo jeje di tudwase a enye no kreda se nkrofo se wo bo abubu ododo wonhwe so no wonya adwuma no na da bia no wakwan no se adwuma no de wo ye na mom se wanka ma amanfo ahu se o ha na ha ne wo na sei na maso anu amom se ampa ne na bibi o enti wa ye adwuma no a ejanko omo anso betia beka se o ba ye kra ye hu ni o ye ba ye kra wonya hwe wo se kapa ade ye omo se ye deka sika twitwi die ya no omo boy kokosese ya nhwe ne entua sika na amo omo a ene eno ani se wo mu betundum omo mfidie na nkane anu kra ye nya biem no woni wo mo akasa wo mahyiahyi apono ama wo mate ase a afedie se ehunahuna no a anani popo no omo de maaye no wo mo atwea sensen enti wo mo anya antutu wo mo mfidie nim kasa bire esum aduru Ghana fa bi enti ya na ebinom kasa wo jeje so ye adwuma no na wakwa ubo abubu ododo ye di jawa ne ade asoa no se ane na emom se me tamasoa no ana edi jama no me pese wo manfo hu se niema sei ne edi jame enti se na me soa na me duru ha no ma hu se de niema no mu duro sitie ene kwansin dodo a Midday akọ enti se si ayi no ne krakra ne sei achame ne ma so show janwode ne nsem so Richmond Rock sing owo ahoma no so yemusa update wo ho Richmond nyamae ya yenko
yo ene yebeko sikasemu nimdifo Dr. Richmond etua hene aboboa no wose wasra mampani dwoma amase na ni die muara wofa na ninsi kuaye eso na enura se so hwe nsu etoye eni ensu ye besne koye etwi ye fa akwan ni nipa so na edi samone na so ye yo manya ye kraduane kra fos akokọ ba ehia se ye fa kuaye ho adwen yie na ensuo ye betne kosa kekei yetimi edikua na mfaso abaso woni Peace News na kasai no se besi se ye kasai ye nhede ni hihye bi ensuo ye a eto no se oman ye boa sa ensuo ni bia no se we nyanku nsuo ya boa no ye de koye kua ye de koye se ye nhede ni ebia ya ye ne sa enti enya wanwa se enei aduane bo edia dencheche saa yen hye danye hyehyeye ya betima ye kua no bra no ne aka se bre bia ye da so den nyame eti ene ni nsu ye betobra ento emwa wo se wo ye mfato ho a ekua ye mu nobaye a yenya efri oti mantemu entwa ye yetimi kan bayire wo ha sika sidi mpem so 7000 wuyi ni mfuamfu a na chese baako eboye sidi eduoson 70 Ghana nanso ebeba bedru enkran no ana ekrokasie mu no na 100 Ghana eti obusa se enhyehyeye ben ana de odomankoma de dum ye nyina ye wo sa bre yi mu nso ne de abokua ye ho bre yie na mfaso aba na de nyame de be mayen no ya nhye ne sa keka mfaso bi e maso mayen
nwura nsu kɛse yɛ tɔɔɛ wo a wontimi nyɛ da wo ntimi nsuo no to anakɔ wontimi mfa nyɛ hwee ɛbɛda woama agric hwɛ yɛadua bayerɛ wɔ ɛnura naano mehwɛ wɔ ɛyi hɔ oti region na mehwɛ bayerɛ a bayerɛ boɔ ɛyɛ 7,000 per 100 tubers nti wosisi a ɛkoro bi ayɛ 70 ɔmfa 7,000 mfiri hɔ meduru akra no na bayerɛ no boɔ ɛyɛ aduru 100 cedis per tube nti ɛkwan ni hɔ ɛnyɛ sɛ yɛ obi adua bayerɛ no koraa na ɔnya kwan na ɔde ba so a storage ni hɔ nti agric no yɛ adeɛ bi a mɛsrɛ mampanyin srɛ no de nyame ho mmɔborɔ srɛ no nyame ho mmɔborɔ mu ɔmtwa n'ani nhwɛ agric yɛka agric so a nyɛ sɛ yɛdua yɛfrɛ bi value chain agric yɛdua yɛde ba yɛstɔ yɛtɔn yɛyɛ saa seed no wobɛnya ahoɔden
wama no anso ha wasan srɛ bio sɛ sɛ wohwɛ ɔman Ghana wɔ ho afe ntam yɛtumi tam sika America sika dollar no 1 billion enye million amene mo kan 1 billion ne yɛ de akra emo ne yɛ de aba Ghana ne yɛbedi emo yɛ kra mo 1 billion e de ba Ghana ne yɛbedi anya no pɛ akokoi force akokoi 400 million ne akra de aba ne yɛbɛwe na sɛ bisa ne sɛ yɛkra akokoba yɛdi kosua nde yɛnya yɛntese yɛkra kosua ba ne nyinaa yɛ kuayɛ no fa bi a akyea ya wosu sɛ yɛhwɛ ne yɛtenetene ne yi a enema besesa na ye jai se da bia jesi ye tebri ye sika ne asesa ne ye de kwa amonone ne akoto ne ye de aba ne manfo te ha wonya adwuma nye wonya adwuma ne bia nso so a enkodanim da bia enkobesie ne ye gina faako
yɛtɔ 1 billion wode ebuso bi a yɛne atɔ abɛ 10 years ni nti yɛntimi nua mo a yɛbɛdi wɔ Ghana yɛnkra mo si yɛnkra mo 1 billion a we save 1 billion still period yɛantɔ nkoko fu 400 a yɛsave 400 million dollars ne nyinaa ma seed no enya ahoɔden ɛsɛ yɛtwa yɛni hwɛ baabi anyame aboa yɛmɛgyina TV so ne radio so nka sɛ seed no ɛna ne seed no akɔ soro daabi sɛ wɔ export no dɔɔso especially export no so a wode kɔ no wode value aka ho sɛ wode value ka ho ɛne sɛ yes what pineapple no saa joti na de ko pineapple no wa kan wa de aye fruit bi na de ko ye yento bibia cocoa ne yeton na gold nso aye ton no so enye nansan ya gold na be nipa ba ko fofa na de atena ba bi na de kire se me wo gold sei there bi o man gold yo man agapade
yo Dr. Richmond etua hene ne na yeti ye na ya ni kasam se Dr. Kase nkrofo abase enya mo ne ayifos akokopeu jenne yakraba amo say Burkina Faso ase ye friends tomato factories ejebe kakra na baabi ade ani ato ne yekokofa ntos ne ba ne so na omo so oma kane oma de
eno na free ye huna no ya ne ti aye mfa nka ho se ni nyina aye niema ye kraba je ne na ya ye hunu o trailers ni mu akakraka ne ya
no
aha ifinije
carrot no so free Ivory Coast na eba sese ai green pepper na minim baabi e free ba
eno so hwehwa obi kra de bebre
obi de beba o mighty as my Ghana aduane aye emo sese ye nyina da ne China fo why na watching was one di mo ye nyina ye di eso so ye ebesi nne it ya planting for food and jobs no edua de yi
body
George say na de amane boy e baye
yenko ensem fufuro mu na Ghana bar situation wo mo ma de anan nkrabata ye ma nko ano asante mantem de women's forum wo mo akwakoya adoye e de ama enkwada nyanka bia ye friend missionaries of charity sisters na no na ekuo baba akoloya Vivian ja editu dwase enye se sikasem nti asem bia to pa uhia asem we de mobro asem obi asem uhia kamafo uni sika nti na chese ye sisi ya obukata na nipa no afa ne ho adifis otimfo atimo ene wawro kawafo abeti ena lawyer Vivian Jan said debi eye nhyehyeye na Ghana akramra ma ho kwanse lawyer fo nyani nyina no ombeji ska bi ha wo mo ye kwa omo ye che enu no omo kasa omo kan se probono no enti uni asa asem bi no obi di wanya de otimi se asem we de pa de asem suro be ma na mini kama fonti a wo se bra Ghana ba association for ma o mema o wo mbegina ma kama wa ense se wo mo ji uska ananso se lawyer no kra tena se wo kan wa se wo bo unkuro na wo kan okra ne che ne dia wo man fact ni se de city a wo hwe otimi se case ye de me kura meto no madi ama a wonye kapreto krodem na enu kura no ye eboa em ye de ye mra me ye de chichiro man empe bebre nu ya na obi wo hono mo ye ose me mobo mini kamafo me ko miniska tie ne me case ne me na mfa nkokra so be na nko wo fine case anke ye betumi akama no na abaye nsen na ho na abaye mra wodi mini bi saa na yesisi no na ya chinchim ne sa na ya bu na faso ti lawyer Vivian Jan say so obi esisiu na otumi sa asem we de masam wo mpa na mihia kamafo mihia lawyer ni a ho ensuro enfere bora chambers bia ka che papa lawyer ma me lawyer mesro kamase mi ma me wati na mini ka premi betua pro bono
4 years ago now, yeah, president then and also yeah, a champion boafo instituted this program of Mother's Day giveaway. And since then, this is our 4th year. Ya kind one boma ya ba out. See about your presentation ama the needy in the society as our contribution to them. And it's become part of us. Every Mother's Day, we will go out and give to the needy. As lawyers no, your institutions wo ha wo mo boa mo muni bi. Ebi mo ayem hihye se lawyers for board into nkokra bakona koka wa se okode ya yentie wa ansa na wetumi aka se okọ yentie okọ se ye hwe situation na ye beboa wa ye beboa minim different chambers o mo ye pro bono okọ na okoka wa asema na o mo hwe na se ampa se uni bi na emu hia moa. There are a lot of chambers that are o mo ye pro bono ama wo mo muni bi.
Lawyer Vivian Jai Kuoba Ghana Bar Association kuma a women's forum wo Asante Mantemu Joel Minta en wotro edebaye na eje nya ba bedru na wotwetwam nim he me boy kokose wo tete pavement so ne kwan ho ton ade a wo mo pese wo mo behwere ho ukoka wo se me ekunafo na mo pam ye medidien ene mama matena na ye mefu agi esika ye kodwa ni mu ankrofo ma enti ne yetia na ye mese awoye watini na so sabre de wo mfa nya adwuma evise du ba bi kra na hyenkafo no so ehunehuna ye mefu sai sama anya adwadifo na mfiri kwan ho a ye nso ye kra ye mfa nipa ye be gya adwuma ne ye na ho na mo behu ena mese ye kra ne ye ntoto ye dada enye se ye tan wo bia na emom no ye pese kro ni mu te na hyehye ye kama dwade bia wo die ye be yi obia so obi a wote kwan wo bia kwan no ho ne nye dwade bia ho nye tena bia ko edwanim na koton ade enne wonum de sa adwumadie wo mu de hyehye so mo so mo hye ase de a ene wani tua CBD akra mfimfini wo ba bia store wura no yi ne niema de aba kwan ho ena obi nso abetena opposite onu so ti pavement ne so enkanka Rawlings Park anim ho ni opposite wono na woyefo nyaw na kotwam na ho kaneama ebogu a ye beje odo onu so nim se ho nya so wotena amo anwusu na ho kana no wase atea no wafrew no wakeka na dwene a kiro adan wa hu se ne niema si ho efise ho no waje apata wotuaka wo so ombe hyase wo ho wo mu wiombe ko kaishi nkroma interchange honom kaneshi ho nyina to wo mu se wo mu dika to omanfo ne fo adwadifo no se mo amoton niema no muntu mfiri wansa na ye mefo aba abetomo achame hene ma ye me Gilbert Ankra se we no wo mu ne wo makasa esese sipo nya biribia no ombe kasa ena ma ye bere kakra me ye bere kakra delays ne so enu so ni bere atwam ebere awie drisi onum di osie yo no omutu ana mo bia ebema kroni mu ate na afi o manfo na hu se menu sa o wosen o na ka ena no wonka enu achi mo hyenkafo na nya ma hunahuna ni ti no mo ye am obi anya sa mo so ye tu adwadifo no ho na muduru ho no mo a mate ne droba wole gina kwani mfimfini na fa nipa o mo so ye nchele mu kra una gina mfimfini ne wa grepe ka no se wo mo de niema hyehye ni mu wo ne wa grip na ti wonom enya de a wo benya kwan atuo na wo se meyo akire mu se ene yo mo hye ase wo CBD Central Business District honom no wo mu firi wo pe a enka wo mbe hye ase wo okan himom na afi wo ma wom edi asika neshi to wo mu firi kaneshi no a afi na no wo mo ba CBD ho no enti wo de no ane se da ho so se ba bia wo ton ade no se wonim se wo te kwan mu a ene sore ho
Ochina Tuesday, Akan Metropolitan Assembly, back on an exercise to ensure say within the city center metropolis, congestion issues of congestion, a bit me I deal with it. Now, as part of the media in assembly, any Krote municipal assembly, Akan Bumta Central Business District, holding Amanphobia or more ton idea a kind of especially on the streets, on Tuesday we expect to say they will they move away from these areas. Now assembly sanitation issues are all clear no they be me are clear.
Achamehema AMA Gilbert Ankra eno enti sana nyenne wochena 20th May en wo mu hyasie na eno so na adruwe executive secretary Emma Ekuefron say Informal Economic Workers Forum of Ghana Inforum one executive secretary Deborah Freeman Erabadibo say AMA asembi say yes senka mu ne omusi nkonwa na mutu as omubu ase na mutie obi a de efiti wo mo no adwuma ya na wo mu yedidi e wa na wo mutie tie ya mudi kukukuku se mo ba no wo mu nkotena he.
Formal economy workers who Ghana hano they constitute over 85% of the workforce. It's a good thing. Say, that you are my moon, I bet you no man, Yabama Bibia, the Dana Quem, Naya, you took on you who said the other year. Number the woman is penny for one by a side, yes, says, so move to me a dialogue with informal sector workers leadership because there were associations with the informal sector. And so we are engaging on this. We are not saying that the congestion exercise, bad because Ghana has a yes, na yemaye. The mom yes, she say, and can be saying no, so much me engage a leadership of informal sector organization.
Rabbi Deborah Freeman and now executive secretary Informal Economy Workers Forum of Ghana. Prince Bafwa Samwa and a chobai.
Kokwa foye wo seshi aboduabo wo bibia ne anwa so be kwai kromu wo Western North say Forestry Commission fu otwa wo mu kokko nuagu wo mani nye honti wo mo ka chom se wo munyai woni PCUs akasa ma onmunyafo Jesse New Love ene joma na nka so mo se enye se ye twa kokko nugu sa keke e ka ma brabo ka ma yem ka bibia wo mo yem na mo nim de ntia Forestry fo beba na ye nka hwe nkyira wo mo ne abetwa wo mu kokko nyina agu wo mo de wo madwen wo se e ya amanyosam ene nkrofo pese wo mo de wo mo eye
ekoduro baby a na forest for ni hunu hwe sa no akuafo ne de won court lands commission ka ho kira no gold mines ka ho minerals commission ka ho enti ne court a asoma kire me e na na lawyer e ma ya akuafo no ne court ka ya ne se kokoo no e ma forest for ni ntwa bio akuafo no so ma obi a no foforo na emom ye kokoo dada de ene ye mfuo dada no etimi yi ho ne ye fa ya duane eno e na ye disua se na ye wo bibia ye fra ne se ye de asem eto senedai na wo a wonti ase no you go for an enlistment just asem ye mpaja se ye nimu ya na se ne omudi asem na akotwene baabi no wo mpene so enti forestry munya sa de a silence means consent na chese muti ase enti ni oma ye contempt pa na o se ye chi forestry commission
Oniboka say ye Jesse New Love na ne de achi bibia ne anwa so be kwai MCE onmunyamfo Sebastian Obin enso say omo forestry for se wo munyai ansa omo ntwe sensen na omo nya hwehwemu fa de omo ye no ho ansa
tie ya se beba na ne aba be se no krese kuku aye 2 years one year bia ana se 3 years bye hu se more than even 5 years odo modoba wu se asase ne nyina na aba ya ne nyina benyini advance nti modoba wu ma ka ho na hwa apart from bia modoba no no you will be edit 10 years ekwa no so mo twagu nti we che se enye se bia no mo twa 2 years but omo yo ma so mo twagu na mo de gu aban ne nimase but e be ka chom se omo ya hwi na mo nya bibia until say ye be resolve na fi ye ho kwan de be fa so ansa na se be twompo a eno aba so se a omo ka mo tumuyam de mo twan de mo twa gu fam nti ne intimi fancy wo ma ne enyini bi but de mo fa mo sanka ne de ye mo fa mo sanka until say e bia emara anasa ban be determine nti mo do mo nya abotre na mo hwe na enye ho adwuma
isanso o makasa ya amanyosem nti NDC constituency chairman ya Obema wo de wei ene to so
me am ye chairman ya me da NDC anu me kuye ni kuye ya na de me ba ya me be di chairman kokwa e 2 years ene kokwa adi be se 6 years 10 years ye nyina ye hu a enu nti na ye nya adaje se ye nye no atesem na wo se ye de MC eba na party for no se ye di akire se ye ni abre na ye ba be hwa de kro ba ye na de bi hu ye no kire se de enenam frama mu se ye se kokko no ye afe ba ko mfie mi no no moboa enya no kore kokko na che kokwa ye teso a ene Ghana ye ni kokko yi eno na surprise itime bua yen e ma ye nya bi na e obi bua payo boni bi na e bi andi si amanyoku ne ye ba ye bosome nan pepepe ni aya adwen se obegu party na ni max na e bi aka o mampanyi dwondrema ne mahama eno de enipa na wa mistake nya de e be ma ne kwan
Na no achi Forestry Commission so manager wo ho say every papa mu wo ne nsentwerefo for baka santi ye be konkon ha kosi say ye bete wo mu enka Kwame Kontoboaten
so wakoma ho hyehyew ana ebo periperi de broni kan hardware no a e de na se wo ye na se wo yam so atim so
wo be packing a farmer Martin's liver salt techira kwan entem ehwie nsu agu glass mo ate Martin's liver salt no ba kwa no na wo de agum
wo be hu se ehuru wa glass ni mu na wanom Martin's liver salt ye won orange flavor ana ba ko so ye plain
wonumu a ho beto nemum edi na anu na ho ntowo a ko hu doctor papa no no papa no no papa no no papa no 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 papa no no Ankasa Polytank is everywhere durable and authentic stronger brand you can trust Polytank we get some more Rambo and get some more super and the Polytank we dey Polytank papa no no papa no 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 papa no no papa no 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 papa no no Ankasa Polytank the original always the best.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Yada mwase kasebonu esi akenkanfo a moti yenkan eye me nana ya kunedu mene
mame ya kunama
yeah they are saying my MTN or the 4G plus abeba internet na fastest connectivity which is Tablenet MTN see we there for you everywhere you go African queen mackerel nampapa ejemu kama pa anunsu de udi chawo numu ahu say yes ekoyie keke enti hwehwe African queen mackerel I was stores ni dwom mo bibie to ato na be call bar pastor makola opposite fire service 0245 326180 0245 326180 and 0302668357 yeah what this way chocolate drink of course one for so kind e wie de ohia ka ho a eni sushi yeah da mu nyina se.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Anyone kwa adwuma enti akwada ne hwe na beda wo so sɛ ne be ya wo yi bitima kwa adwuma afi wo hu sɛ wonnim sɛ na wo bɛsesa wo ba no dai